Now, conservationists say they're concerned about the fate of cultural and historical sites in Afghanistan in the wake of the Taliban takeover. In March 2001, the Taliban blew up and destroyed the 1,477-year-old Buddha statue in Bamyan. Now, some archaeologists fear they'd do the same to another ancient Buddhist site in Mes Aynak, southeast of Kabul. Let's speak to Brent Huffman, who made a documentary, Saving Mes Aynak, about Afghan archaeologists' effort to save the site. Brent, thank you so much for joining us on the program. I just want you to give us, first of all, historical context. Why should you be worried about ancient artifacts and archaeological sites? Of course, we remember those disturbing images of the Buddhas of Bamyan, but the story is far bigger than that.
Yes, thank you for having me on. Afghanistan holds arguably the most incredible heritage in the world. I've been working specifically at Mes Aynak, an ancient Buddhist city, 500,000 square meters in size, comparable to Machu Picchu in Peru, that holds ancient manuscripts, over 600 Buddha statues that are life-size or larger, some of the oldest oil paintings in the world. And the site was just taken over by the Taliban. The Taliban have, obviously taken over Kabul, where the National Museum is. And this incredible world heritage, like I said, most important in the world, is all under tremendous threat, of looting, of complete destruction.
Brent, I suppose we've all been looking at horrific images of Kabul airport, the chaos, the discussions about the lack of planning. From your knowledge and understanding, was the idea of protecting ancient artifacts or these sites in Afghanistan, when so much money, frankly, has gone into protecting them over the last 2 decades and restoring, and various different organizations have been involved in that, including yours, was there ever any discussion or forward planning discussing that, basically?
No, there wasn't, and I think the archaeologists, the Afghan archaeologists, were taken by complete surprise by the U.S.'s decision to suddenly pull out. The Afghan archaeologists are terrified for their lives. They've risked their lives to save this incredible heritage, and now they feel abandoned and hopeless. And I'm trying to do everything I can to try to help them. So no, nothing was done. It's a complete surprise, and it's really the worst case nightmare situation right now.
So Kabul Museum, and I've been there, has a lot of ancient artifacts at present, many of them semi-destroyed by Taliban fighters in the 90s. What is your greatest fear now about what may happen to those very ancient artifacts?
Right. So as you mentioned, the National Museum was blown up by the Taliban in the past, and these 2,000-year-old Buddha statues were destroyed there. I'm not sure if the museum will be attacked in the same way, but I'm extraordinarily terrified about looting. The National Museum put out a plea the other day saying to the international community, please help us. We're at tremendous risk. Like you said, the museum, even though it was destroyed in the past, is full of incredible material. A lot of the objects from Mes Aynak are still there, and they made this plea to, like I said, the international community to please help, please support them. They also feel
any response to that?
None so far, no, sadly.
And in 1996 through to 2001. From my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, many of these artifacts were actually stored in underground cellars and bunkers, because as the Taliban was starting to emerge and take over parts of Afghanistan and head towards Kabul, those who were responsible, and the archaeologists in Afghanistan, predicted something like this because they realized the sort of ideology that they have. So they stored all of these in underground bunkers. So we have some stuff there that's destroyed, but actually some things that were never found. That hasn't been done this time around, has it?
As far as I know, no. And mainly because, like we talked about, that it came as a complete surprise and no one had time to prepare for this. So yeah, unfortunately, I think a lot of it is still out in the open. At Mes Aynak, the material is out in the open. So sadly, no.
Just if you can, in 30 seconds, tell me what is now urgently needed.
Yes, so the Mes Aynak needs support. The international community, anything that can be done to negotiate with the Taliban to protect Mes Aynak. There's a Chinese copper mine also at Mes Aynak. The Chinese company wants to start mining. None of that should happen, and the Afghan archaeologists need safe passage to leave Kabul. Otherwise they could be killed.
Brett, thank you very much for joining us here on the program.